Perhaps the moon knows the secret of the new sound.
He's so bright and full on the surfaces. He's so bright and they walking on my face. He's so bright and
Open your mind.
full on the
Let us begin our quest to find the new sound.
I've got new. Nicey, I've got nice.
Look at them shine, everything we need.
I've got new. Nicey,
Okay, let's have fun.
better bedtime.
Nicey, I've got new. Nicey, I've got new.
Look at them shine,
Nicey, I've got new. Nicey, I've got new.
look at them shine.
He's so bright and bright, full on the surfaces. He's so bright and they walking on my face. He's so bright and bright, full on the surface, full on the surface. He's so bright and they walking on my face. Better bedtime.
Nicey, I've got new. Nicey, I've got new.
Look at them shine,
Nicey, I've got new. Nicey, I've got new.
Sound.
You must choose. Bimbo, bimbo. My name is Mr. Susan. You must choose, and now it is time for you to do the choosing. I am Mr. Teen.
I've got new.
You must choose.
I've got nice.
Look at them shine. I am Mr. Teen.
I've got new.
You must choose.
I've got nice.
Look at them shine.
Trapped in cabinets.
Can he get out? Will he get out? 'Cause he will.
You like a single dime, Vince, single dime.
Better bedtime.
You like a single dime.
They walking on my face.
Everything we need here. You like a single dime, Vince, single dime.
Better bedtime.
You like a single
They
dime.
walking on my face.
I did a rhyme.
Better bedtime.
Nicey, I've got new. Nicey,
You better
I've got nice.
Look at them shine.
Nicey, I've got new. Nicey, I've got new. I've got new. Nicey, I've got new. Nicey,
you better
I've got nice.
Look at them shine.
Nicey, I've got new. Nicey, I've got new.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another DaraChat. My name is DaraMuth, or Dare for short, because some people have an issue with the English language, and I can't help you if you don't want to help yourself. That's the point of what a good lesson is. But anyway, it's DaraMuth, not DaraMouth. You punch your in greats. Anyway, anyway, I get to have on the awesome Zin. I almost just want to say Zin Zalabim because that was from like I can't remember where that was from. Like I think it was from Family Guy when they were trying to do a Johnny Quest uh, uh, skip away moment, and that's where the kid, the Indian kid, had said that to, like Peter's like that's not gonna work.
Right.
Oh goodness! But regardless, like what the name, like where did you come up with that?
That originated from Final Fantasy. It was actually an evolution of a name that I've been using long ago. I originally came up with the name Xenos,
Oh,
but I found out that a lot of people were using that name, so I shortened it to ZN for Zen because I
Mhm.
mainly was like I just wanted a lot of peace in my life. But
Yeah.
then found out that that was also being widely used, so I typed in ZIN, and then when I started playing Final Fantasy 14, it required me to create a surname.
Right.
And then I was like, well, darn, now I got to get fancy with this. And then I
Yeah.
came up with the name Belamuth to add on to it.
Uh,
So that's the origin of the name, and I've been using it since.
yeah. Well, yeah, and Xenos, I think isn't Xenos from didn't they have a Xenos in Kingdom Hearts? I swear they had a bunch of
They had a Xehanort.
Xehanort.
Remember
Oh,
that.
Xanar, yeah, yeah, they had that. They had a bunch of ones, but I swear I thought they had a Xenos because they were having a bunch of like X starting names. I'm like, that's really I I don't know if Kingdom Hearts is one of those games where the story is so convoluted. You aren't sure what it's supposed to be, but it tried to get there eventually. Oh man. And it's funny enough because you talk about Final Fantasy, like there's that connection between Final Fantasy and Disney. Disney, yeah. It's Mickey
Right.
Mouse and all this stuff. So,
Square
but
Enix, Disney partnership created Kingdom Hearts. Yep.
yeah, and it's funny enough, Haley Joel Osment did the voice for every time Zoro was on, and that man is probably in his 40s. Yeah, because who was it? It was him and man, I don't remember who was the voice of his friend from the game. His character Rias or something like that. I don't know, but I mean, obviously that's a pretty neat thing. I mean, did you play the latest one? Uh, uh, the Final Fantasy game?
Let me think. That was the one Final Fantasy no, what was it?
I think it was
15, I
16.
think? 16?
Yeah, I think it was 16, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I
15 was the car one, I
Yeah.
think. 16 I have not played.
Okay. Yeah, because 15 is the one where he's like traveling around with the lady or something like that. I can't remember. Um,
I think 15 was like the boy band goes in a car ride.
yeah, boy, and make a music video out of it, and that's pretty much the whole game.
Pretty much.
Oh goodness. But no, the only games I ever played of the Final Fantasy were obviously, of course, the remake, Final Fantasy 7. I did play those, except the new one. I didn't do the rebirth. I haven't gotten that one yet. And then I did the Crystal Chronicles series, which is only like 2 games and then some mini games. Not well, maybe not mini games, but not core centric, I guess. Um, because I had first played the first Crystal Chronicles on GameCube, which was a long time ago, and then I played the Crystal Bears, which was on the Wii or Wii U. I think it was one of those two. Like, have you ever played the Crystal Chronicles ones?
Yeah, I played Crystal Chronicles back when it was on the GameCube, but I haven't played one since.
Mm, oh, I mean, they only did that remaster for Switch, but beyond that point, I mean, that was pretty much it. Although it was nice that they brought Donna Burke back for singing the songs. That was pretty nice. The intro and all that stuff. I mean, about that, you're mostly just a gamer for where you stream your stuff to, right?
Right, I mostly stream gaming content.
Mm. And you do pretty long though. I've seen some of those streams like 10 hours, 15 hours. It's a long time.
My longest one so far, I believe, was 19 hours.
Jeez, ow, that's a long. Were you trying to do a 24 stream at that point?
Um, Let me think. What was it? Trying to remember what was it. I think it was during the time when I was like I would do streaming marathons when I would play a game from beginning all the way to end and I would not stop until it was done, except
Mm,
for breaks.
yeah, that makes sense. I mean, obviously, I don't know how some of these gamers can do it. They just like 8 to 9, 10 plus hours just sitting there playing a game, and really, I mean, I get playing a game because you enjoy it. That's great. But for people to watch a game, I mean, you're really not going to get very many people to watch a 5 to 6 to 7 hour stream after a certain point.
Right.
Yeah, either it will be either will be they just listen to it, which let's be honest, most people just listen to stuff nowadays, or they'll be there live and then that's it.
Well, the one thing I've learned over my years of streaming gaming content is that while people won't sit there and watch in the entirety of a VOD, one of the beauty of a game stream is that anyone can join at any point during the stream and just start having a chat and hanging out in chat or doing something like that.
Mm,
That's where streaming has an advantage, kind of
mm,
like how live television does.
yeah, that is true. Oh, I'm hearing myself again. I don't know if
Hold
it's
on.
I wonder if it's you getting close to the mic or something. It's not I'm not hearing it right now, but I was hearing myself a bit.
Well, I do have open back headphones, and if I turn my
Ah.
head a certain way, it probably picks it up because it's a dynamic mic.
Ah, yep, that's probably why. See, now I'm learning about tech stuff too. Today class, we're learning about your setup,
Right.
your microphone, your audio setup on a stream. No, but yeah, you're not wrong. Um,
Yeah, on my own stream, I've got like filters and stuff that's supposed to keep that from happening, but when I go and join a different program, it's a whole different ball.
yeah, you probably use OBS, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. I used OBS for a little while, and it supplied the need that I had. But after a certain point, I was like, I really don't need all these gizmos and gadgets for a bunch of other stuff I don't use, because there's a lot of things uh, in OBS that make it great for technical people or whatever. Have multiple layouts, multiple videos, or certain things like that. For me, I'm very basic, very simple. Don't really use. I mean, I rarely use a bot. I have a bot, but I rarely use it. So that should tell you a lot about how much you use streaming elements.
Right. Which
Now,
for a podcast, it actually is to your advantage to be more lightweight. Whereas gaming, it's a little bit of a different story because a lot of
mm,
people, especially over on Twitch, will use bots to keep engagement rolling.
mm,
Like,
yeah.
for example, there's a add-on that I could probably add over on Twitch that allows people to play Pokemon on my own stream.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Well, I've seen one. I think they call it crowd control. I think is one of those.
Yeah,
It's where
crowd control is another one where if I have it enabled and installed, people can go in and interact with the game that I'm playing as, so long as the game is supported officially on crowd control. Not every game
mm,
is supported.
okay. Well, like what games do you know of that are supported on crowd control?
One that I like to use a lot on crowd control, or rather, I like to watch people who have crowd controller enabled, is Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. There's a
Oh,
PC port that's available. You still
cool.
have to provide a ROM legally
Yeah.
for the official files, but um, once you have it installed, you can do things like randomizers and stuff, which also happens to include crowd control. That's one example of it. I also am aware that like Fallout 4 has crowd control enabled on it.
Nice.
There's a bunch of other games. They even have a website where you can check and see what list of games is available.
Mhm. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. That's kinda interesting though. They have to use a. I mean, obviously you have to use a ROM, but I mean, if you're gonna stream with a ROM, has that is it not a bit harder with how much Nintendo has gone after those places that have ROMs? Because I remember
Uh,
seeing. Yeah.
if you have dumped the ROM legally, it should not be an issue because it is officially your copy of the cartridge.
Mm,
Now, as far as the whole legality of it, um, it is a very gray zone.
mhm.
I'll give you that. So don't get it from a website. just just go get a physical cartridge and dump it yourself if you want to be legal about it.
Yeah.
Of course, now the bubble around the copyright of the around all this stuff is extremely thin,
Mhm,
so it's hard to say with absolute certainty. Now, as far
yeah.
as like Nintendo being aggressive about this stuff, I probably won't poke the bear on that one, which is why I usually try not to touch Nintendo games on my own streams.
Mhm,
Now, if I do, it's being played on an official hardware using a
mhm,
capture card.
mhm. Yeah. 'Cause, I can't imagine. I mean, I don't know if it's happened yet, but I can't imagine the people who would get shut down if they're found out by Nintendo. Because I don't know how hawkish they are. I know they've been pretty hawkish on, like, the websites that have the emulators, but beyond that point, I don't know how hawkish they are because they really have gotten, especially with all the Pal World stuff, Nintendo's really been hawkish about that.
Well, generally, they leave people who do emulation alone unless you're sitting there going, "Oh, I got this game illegally. Your Nintendo can't do anything about it," which a guy actually did do, and he got sued for it.
Jeez. That's just
And now he
dumb.
has to pay like $17,000 to Nintendo for damages.
Wow. Holy crap. What was the game?
I don't remember what games he was streaming. He's just like he had a whole bunch of Nintendo games and he was just gloating about how he obtained them illegally. It's like if you're gonna do that and do a stream, it's like I wouldn't gloat about it, buddy.
No, no, why? That was just the dumbest thing ever to do. Why would you gloat about something that will get you? Why would, it's like holding up a flare at a car crash. I'm the one who crashed the car.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Oh man, like, gosh dang it. I that no, he deserved it. Let's just be honest. He did deserve that because he
He
did.
was asking for it.
He was asking for it. And that's the sad part is that he probably still won't learn.
He'd probably do it again.
He'd probably do it again. Good lord. Oh, some people. I tell you what. Um, because of all because obviously because of all the power of Pokemon stuff, the emulator stuff, and all that's been going on. Nintendo's really kind of given itself a bad scratch for that kind of stuff.
They've been
Uh,
doing this for years. It's only recently that it's starting to get really out of hand.
yeah. Well, yeah. They probably didn't have the internet as much. Well, not, I'm not saying they didn't have the internet. I'm more like they didn't have it to this much extent, like the YouTube stuff and any other place where people could stream the games and whatnot. Because I remember hearing a story where it was so hard to you'd even get hit for just streaming a Nintendo game, uh, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Which
that's how it used to be. Now Nintendo has kind of relaxed those rules
mm,
seemingly, but I can't say with absolute certainty.
yeah, and I don't think
It's
it'd be.
always going to be a risk, no matter what.
Yeah, yeah, obviously, and yeah, and this funny thing with Nintendo, the only game I know of that's beyond the consoles is the I think it's called the Mario Run that's on the mobile side. Um, and I've only played it like maybe once or twice, but it's one of those gotcha type of games where you have to, buy the upgrades or whatever. Um, but yeah, Nintendo has really kind of given itself a mean look. But I mean, I can understand in one sense, like the business side, obviously protect your whatever, but they certainly are going about in a way that's very ill advised. I would think.
Yeah, I would think Nintendo's actions, especially with Power World, I think they've really crossed the line. Are they legal in a right? Probably not. I would say that they're probably going into the legal gray zone in specifically when it comes to Power World.
Mm,
But when it comes to enforcement of their own IP and copyright, legally they are in a right. Morally, probably not.
mhm.
Depending on what case we're talking about.
Yeah, and that is true too. Um, but yeah, it's just it's been with that stuff. It's been a mess. But I ideally, uh, I do know that I think it was like Power World did have a win. Obviously, it was recent, so there's that. But I can't remember what part of it was about because I know there's been many different points to where it was about the look of the Pokeball, like catching a Pokemon, that sort of thing, and all that stuff. It's just a hectic case of nut jobbery. But it is what it is, right? You even with anime stuff, right? Like you can't use it fair use because fair use is not a thing in Japan.
Yeah, Japan does not observe fair use laws.
Hmm.
Now, in regards to like the whole patent situation, as far as I'm aware, I think the patent for Pokeballs was recently denied over in
Yeah,
Japan, but they also have patents here in the US. So we'll have to see how that plays out.
that is true. Use your words. I did use my words. What do you mean use your words? What? Hey, Frog, how you doing? Use my words. I use my words all the time. Bippity boppity bippity boo. All right, there you go. Um, but yeah, I mean, I try to play a game. Uh, I actually I did have a Switch, but I had to give that up financial reasons. And mostly do stuff like through Steam or Epic or whatever. But I really don't. I really don't play games very much just because of full time job. and then coming to do this, which I enjoy doing. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy doing this, but it's just that there's just not enough time. And animes game. Well, you know what? You know what? Life sucks. Life just sucks, then, doesn't it? Um, but uh,
I mean, if you see some of the poaches that comes from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, it's pretty hard to beat those allegations.
yeah, that is true. Especially if you're talking like the what was it, Stone Ocean or something like that. I can't remember, but yeah, I can
Yeah,
understand
Stone
that.
Ocean.
Yeah, use your words. Weak. I know there's no weak here. I'm pretty strong. I'm a big boy over here. Come on now. Uh, getting called out in chat on the YouTube side. Good lord. Uh,
YouTube being spicy.
no, she's all right. She's a good egg. But yeah, I mean, for me personally, gaming has just been a hard to do because again, both of what I do, and then and it just seems like a lot of creators go for like the next new game out there, and they try to get it done within a certain period of time, and then they're on to the next game because of how the gaming cycle and games get created all work out. Like for you, I mean, what games do you mostly center on?
I mostly center on first-person shooter games, or also known as FPS, and
Mm,
I'll also touch upon our RPGs, but those are I'm not exclusive to those. I will also play a variety of other types of games, such as like 3D platformers, for example.
mm. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I mean, I've done simulation ones. I've done FPS, of course. I've played uh I've played the was it I've played the Fallout 76, I think it was. But I haven't touched it since. It's been so long. Um and so many others, but I just don't I just play a game that interests me, although there's that whole thing with like playing a new game and stuff, but then again it has to interest you to wanna play it and all that stuff. And it's just so many games, so many different places to have so many games, and it just gets wiped out because you just don't have enough time. And like you said, you play games for like almost high end hours, which is insane.
Well, that's typically on the weekend these days. Most weekdays, I play about 3 hours a day.
Hmm, well, that's good. What's the current one you're playing right now?
Outlast,
Which one?
the first one.
Okay. I was about to say there's a Outlast 2, so I
Oh,
just
I
wanted to
bought
make
all
sure.
of them on
Oh yeah?
sale. I
Oh
intend to go through
nice.
all of them.
Nice. Yeah,
I
that's
also
pretty
picked up Evil Within. I'm looking forward to playing that one too.
the first one?
Oh, the whole set.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. Sometimes Steam has some good sales and sometimes you're just like, you know, playing games. I do too play games. I don't know what you're talking about. I play games. It's just not it's very rare. It's rare I play games because uh just don't have enough time, you know? It
Yeah,
is what it is.
during the recent spook sale that they had over on Steam, they had Alien Isolation, Evil Within, and Outlast.
Mm,
Bundles of them on a really good price. I paid like $75 altogether for a bunch of games.
that's not bad, especially if you get like 2 to 3 games out of that like $75 bundle. Cause
Yeah,
man,
that includes all the DLC too.
oh goodness sake, that's pretty good because I'm telling you right now, when the whole thing about the lies, that's not lies. I do play games. Oh goodness. Uh, but no, the when the Switch 2 stuff came out and the games that came with it, a lot of people were upset about the price of the game, but I'm like, they're still gonna buy it anyway.
Right. It's kind of a similar problem with like Sony and Xbox. They're going to have their loyal fan base because people just want simplicity. They're going to pay extra for the convenience. Uh, you could tell them all day long to like, hey, come over to PC gaming where you have a lot more freedom. You can determine what you do with your own device.
Hmm.
But even then, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, Windows is trying to lock that down too, but they forget that Linux exists.
That is true too. I have seen people start wanting to move over because of the whole Windows 11 stuff. Uh, like I think
Right.
it was when someone saw mention like Linux Mint or something like that. I don't think it was, but
Linux Mint.
Linux Mint. That's right, Linux Mint. But the problem of it is that Linux is not a widely adopted uh, what's the term, OS. And so you still gonna have the majority be on Microsoft regardless of whatever it does, because they just want to use the basic items. But and understandability, it is understandable why people want to start moving games and stuff over there because obviously, and then because of Windows, business, corporate stuff, all that. It's understandable on why to
Right.
do that. But it is what it is, unfortunately.
Yeah,
So,
it is what it is. I can kind of name a couple of points having used the Steam Deck from Valve.
oh
They
yeah,
made their own version of Linux called
mhm,
Steam OS, which is not
yeah,
publicly available for some strange reason. I don't know why. You think they would do that, especially at the end of life for Windows 10. That would be a great opportunity for them.
yeah. Hey,
But for some reason they didn't.
mm,
The reasons why Linux isn't widely adopted is because the primary one is that it's an open source OS.
mm,
It's not fine tuned or polished as you would expect from something like Windows. And
mm,
because of that, programs that you would want to put on it that you're used to using on Windows are not like install and go, not plug and play, for lack of a better term.
yeah,
You have to do some tinkering under the hood to get things to work.
mm,
And
yep,
sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
yep.
But that's to be
Well,
expected with PC gaming anyway.
yeah. Well, not only that, but it's partly because of the command prompt sort of situation where with Windows, command prompt is a option, but with Linux, it's a mainstay of of it. Like if
Yeah, in Linux, it's called terminal. They
terminal,
call it
yeah.
terminal, and it's basically the equivalent of PowerShell for Windows.
Yep. Yeah, that is true. And that Sparkle says I'm not good with computer systems are easier. Oh, she's not good with it, but they're easier. Okay. That's understandable.
Right.
It's like you said, plug and play versus a little TLC basically at that point.
Right.
But
It's like how much do you actually want to mess with it before you actually get to enjoy what you installed?
yeah, exactly. And a lot of people are and I think while many who are up to that challenge are going to move over to the Linux thing, you're still going to have a very slow momentous of people going over because they're people who don't understand it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are actually waiting for Steam OS to release
Mm,
because, again, having used it on the Steam Deck myself, it is very plug and play. It's very easy to use. There's minimal tinkering for it. But having used Ubuntu, there's still a lot of tinkering with it.
yep. Yep. And if you have to leave it and that's great for technical people, but beyond that point, it's not great for quick, easy adoption. Which, again, that's what Microsoft does and does well. A bit of a sting for maybe Apple, but at least they're sort of getting there, but they're not there. If that makes sense. Uh,
Well, Apple kind of has the opposite problem, in which they've made it so much of a walled garden. It's
yeah,
hard to actually develop anything for their platform, and that's why it's not nearly as big. Now, Mac OS's strength is for like workshops, for like if you do messing with a bunch of audio equipment or editing, that
mm,
is where Mac excels in because that OS just gets out of the way at that point. It lets you do what you need to.
yeah, yeah. And and it becomes like I know some people will be like, "Oh, Android is better." Or some people, go with Apple, but really, Apple's, if you go for a new phone, or if you have been holding on to a phone for quite some time, and then you go to a new phone, it really hasn't changed much in the way of like how you move things around, do stuff with it, and all that. Um, uh,
Right.
and also their ecosystem too is what helps keep people there as well.
Right. Which reminds me of a story I remember hearing about. Android's biggest strength is being able to sideload apps, which
Mm,
basically sideloading for the uninitiated is being able to install applications that are not officially approved by Google.
yep.
Google wants to try and do away with that.
Hmm.
which is going to get rid of Android's biggest strength.
Well, yeah, but also the one thing that's been Android's probably big weakness is its fracturedness.
Right.
Because I have seen to some degree where people are able to get out an iOS app out quicker than they are an Android app because of all the different flavors that subjugate Samsung, all this stuff for that form factor. And, you know, I'm not going to say Android doesn't have its thing, but, what when it's easier to do one than over the other, I mean, what else you left with that at that point?
Correct. It goes
So
back to the original point that we were talking about with Windows, simplicity versus freedom.
yeah, yeah, it's funny how that works, right? You can have simplicity, but you give up a few things here and there. I mean, obviously, using Apple as an example, it's a walled garden, like you stated, or you have the freedom part, which is Android, but it is kind of fractured. Um, obviously, if you're talking about the phones, they may have an easier use, but beyond that point, it really its strength is in that freedom, but its weakness is in its what do we call it? Flavor types? No, I don't want to. What do we call that? It's just in the amount of flavors there are, basically.
Right.
And
Now, the operating system Android is great, is extremely varied, but um, as you pointed out, the manufacturers, the people who make these devices, they do a lot of different things with them, and it's not just the manufacturers of them. I noticed that having an unlocked phone, swapping from Straight Talk over to Verizon, there were things on my phone that my phone had available to it that weren't available on Straight Talk. But when I went to um, AT&T, actually, it
mm,
wasn't Verizon, it was or no, yeah, it was AT&T Spectrum.
mm,
When I swapped over to Spectrum, certain features that were locked away on my phone became available, like a mobile hotspot,
interesting.
and it's still running on the same operating system, Android.
Hmm.
And the thing with Android is that there are many different versions of it, like how Windows has different numbered versions as well, and each one does something different.
Yeah, that is true. Obviously the iteration is to better security and all this stuff, but still, it still has issues of that fracturedness with all its different flavors and stuff out there. It
Correct.
I mean, obviously I have a iPhone, obviously, but I'm not a huge like one or the other uh, tribalistic in nature sort of thing.
Yeah, for me, I prefer having the technical freedom. I don't mind sitting there and being technical with it and just tinkering with it. So I'm going to choose the freedom. That's just my personal decision. If
Mm,
someone else is like, oh, I like using iPhone because it's efficient, it's whatever reason they may have, then that's their decision. I'm not going to fault them for that.
mm, yeah, it makes pretty good sense. Uh, but yeah, I've just now obviously I have a PC which you can put together, and if you know the if you know sort of y- obviously you need to have at least a little knowledge of how to put the pieces together for if you're doing a PC. But for the most part, once you do, uh, and you do it enough times, it's pretty simple. Because I use a website called my PCPartPicker.com for like
Great website.
yeah, it is. And the reason partly of my reason for it is that is because of um the compatibility filter that it has. Like you can choose a CPU and it will compatibility filter like what boards will go with it or whatever have goes with it. You can like see if I can't find oh nope, I had it and there we go. And I'm gonna show that. Yes, I am human. Takes too long. All right, let's see if I can't find my. Uh, there we go. So this is sort of my build. I haven't updated it in a while. This is sort of my build. Um, so like you can see like the Corsair. Let's see if I can't zoom in a bit. There we go. So Ryzen. Actually, I have a AMD Ryzen 7 now instead of a 3. So I gotta change that. And of course, my my MS board is now an Asus, so I gotta change that too. I had so much stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's really great for that sort of thing, and for people who've never tried it, if you want to build a computer, and it's free to just, it's like free to edit parts and all this stuff. Like you can custom build something, and it doesn't really cost you anything. It just costs you the thing to buy the parts. And for me, what's been funny is that Amazon has always been, at least as far as I've seen, always been one that has lower prices. I know new eggs out there, but usually Amazon has the lower prices to buy from rather than Newegg, and it's really interesting how that's sort of like mostly been my go-to for buying parts.
I personally prefer Amazon because of their shipping and return policy, but
Mm,
that's just me. Um, if I were to say something for like the first time builders out there, I would say like go through YouTube and watch as many guides as you can. Learn what each one of these parts is capable of and what specifically they do. So that way, if you do run into issues, you can easily troubleshoot them. Also, keep manuals on hand because, especially for the motherboard, figuring out where those pins go and how they are orientated is very crucial.
mm,
Now, your first time building it is probably going to feel like you're playing mad scientist and you're building a Frankenstein machine. Okay, that's fair.
mm.
But once you do it like a handful of times, it quickly becomes like riding a bicycle.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much the case. It's just, again, they are electrical components, so you do have to be careful. You
Right.
do
Do
have,
practice some safety.
yes, do practice safety. It's funny enough because I had bought this like toolkit, right? And it has like screws and all that sort of stuff. But it came with a wristband. And
Oh,
that's what
grounding wristband.
yeah, a grounding wristband, yeah. And that's what people
Just,
should have. Go ahead.
yep. If you're really paranoid about static and you know you build up a lot of static discharge, definitely get one of those. If not, just touching the side of the case will do just fine. The thing's made of metal. Just don't put any electrical parts against that metal when you do that.
Hmm. Yeah. And winter's notorious for that sort of thing because it gets dry as heck, and you have to be really careful.
Static
Really.
electricity is the bane of all electronics. Be careful with that stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right. Although it is always kind of fun to shock a family member after you've rubbed your socks against the floor for a while.
Yeah.
It's, gotta, what did you do? Static shock. You become the most annoying person at Christmas just because you're like.
Eggnog in one hand, like just sliding across the floor. You see your little cousin right there. It's like, how, check this out. Hey, what'd you do? I have superpowers.
You just and
And
then you
just
just,
move on without saying anything more.
that's right. But you have the one that tries to build up enough charge for all, and it just hits you, and that's it. Hey, Bill, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. And then you just build enough charge that you really shock someone. It's like, yes, that's when it
Yeah.
that's when it gets real good. But yeah, I like using PC part picker, and you could possibly build a cheaper computer than say one you buy in store that's already pre-built.
Actually, I kind of did a little bit differently when I first got into PC gaming many years ago. So here's what I did. I went on to I think it was eBay, and I found like this used PC because back in the day when the schools were done using their PC or something like that,
Mhm.
they oftentimes will go a little overkill on these PC parts, but they won't put a graphics card into it,
Yeah.
but it'll be like ready to go. All you just need to do is just get the PC home. Yeah, it's going to be used, it's going to be refurbished. It'll have a shorter lifespan. but
Mhm.
you're just getting your toes into it to find out if you like to do so or not.
Yeah.
And then go get like a cheap graphics card and start from there with the intention of eventually building up into a better PC.
Yeah.
That's how I did it. And now I'm rocking a fairly decent PC. It's about time for another upgrade for myself as well.
Yeah. Does that because I can't imagine that your VTubing stuff doesn't draw a little much more resource. Just like OBS draws some resource in order to do what you do.
Actually, since this is a 3D tuber instead of like a standard GIF or anything like that, it does draw some resources, kind of like how a lightweight 3D game does. Like the
Mm,
background behind me, the program I use does have backgrounds bit into them, but the backgrounds suck up so much resources that just turning it off and going transparent is so much more better.
yeah, that is true. I know some people who've used the what do you call it? VTube Studio is the one, and then and I know
That
one
one sucks a lot. I use Wardo.
Wardo. Hmm.
Yep, Wardo.
I've
It's free for independent VTubers, but if you're a contracted VTuber, you do have to contact the person who makes it via email to discuss pricing.
Wow, that's interesting. Cause yeah, contracted VTuber. Wow. But I think
Yeah, if you're like with an agency, there are some VTuber agencies.
yeah, I do think it's kind of I can understand the appeal of an agency for a VTuber, but I've also seen the other side of the coin where it's like with the whole V Shoujo stuff and all that, where it's like, no.
Yeah, where it kind of like it kind of becomes like a K-pop situation or something like that, where it's like you're extremely micromanaged, you're miserable the whole time for it, and yet you have to go on there and pretend like you're smiling about it. And then when you finally get out of it, it could go like one of two ways. One being like they keep all the IP and you have to start over from scratch and create a new VTuber model and all that other stuff.
Mm,
Or you get, or how some of them will do it when they separate. They're like, I keep all the IP, I get to keep all the avatar and stuff, just not associated with the company anymore.
yeah, and obviously, to give an example, right? You had Hololive when Gargura left. She didn't get to keep her stuff. That was it. And
Yep.
so yeah, and then you had Vishojo stuff where they did get to keep their IP and stuff, and and just take with it what they will. But yeah, there are those contract out. I'm not sure what Phase Connect is. I'm not sure if they allow them to keep their stuff, but I'm not too deep
I'm
in
not
that stuff.
sure. I haven't looked too far into it.
Mhm.
Um, Ever since I found out that like, oh, some companies won't let you keep the IP, I'm like, well, I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to stay independent.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, you really just uh, it's a little more work, obviously, but I mean, you get to keep majority of the cash to yourself.
Right. You don't get the promotions. You don't get like all the nice stuff that comes from being in an agency, such as easy merchandise on demand or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's just a trade off. Being independent means you have to do it all, everything.
Mm. Yeah. Yep. Um, and there's always been a fascination with those companies because, to be honest, I don't know. I'm not gonna say all of them are underwater, if that makes sense, but I don't feel like all of them are above board, especially again pointing back to Fujojo, which really screwed itself over heavily.
Yeah, they really done themselves under. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I just don't see the appeal to joining an agency.
Yeah. I think it's the stuff you mentioned. I was like, it's just you have less stress on yourself uh in order for that stuff. And some people just don't want to have to do things and think about it, they just want to go. And if you're by yourself, you have much more to worry about than rather just be in a corporation and just, I guess, but take your card and clock it in and then go, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how it works.
Yeah.
Um, but I just prefer the freedom of being independent and being able to choose what direction I want to take my content in versus uh having a manager going, "Oh, you're scheduled for a collab with this person." Well, I don't really care for this person. What are you going to do stuff with them anyway?
Oh my
It's like,
goodness.
okay,
Can you imagine like if V Shoujo at least kept better qualms of itself, it wouldn't have been in the position it is now.
well, yeah, I would kind of agree with that. It would probably be in a better position, but inevitably, uh, especially if they're a publicly traded company where they have
Oh,
stocks exchange like that, they
mm,
have to appease investors and they have to keep line go up. And
mm,
eventually that runs into the problem of they have to start doing things like that. And
mm.
eventually it just runs into a dead end and they have to close doors.
Yeah, there yeah, there is that thing with stocks. A publicly traded company, um, because, I do know, um, that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, because I have put some money in stocks, so we'll see how that goes in the next 50 years or so if I make it that long.
Yeah.
I'm hoping big money. No. Not gonna see that from me. But, I mean, that's kind of, to kinda steer to the point, it's been, uh, for you on your end, you have been very big, and I know you're on here, so I'm not gonna, like, point to, like, throwing you under the bus, but I do know you've been very strongly, worded, on Rumble itself, and, um and sort of that thing, and I can understand it because obviously you have your reasons, and you already have a bunch of other platforms you stream to, so there's no whatever. But like you're talking about publicly traded companies, they do have to meet that uh, shareholder line. I guess I could be considered a shareholder because they do own stock in, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure to what depth that means I'm important enough.
No, it depends on what percentage you have of the total stock amount.
I probably have like 0.000000001%.
Right.
So
And it wouldn't surprise me that Chris has like the whole majority of it so that way he can have some authority over how the company is run.
voting, I
If
believe
he
it's,
was smart, that's what he would have done.
yeah, voting. I think they call it like controlling majority, voting majority. I can't remember what they called that.
I don't
It's
know the proper phrasing for it.
yeah, but yeah, I think, um because I do something where, like once a month, I do a show called Rumble Squared, and I ask people upon their issue wish list stuff about things, because I believe collecting that feedback and showing what people are saying, rather than just having venting sessions, uh, does better than not. Because what I do isn't perfect, but I know it's a lot better. But it can easily be ignored by, uh, people don't care to hear about change rather than anything else. And again, that's how I remember you being very quiet, outspoken. So that's why it's always a
Right.
little, yeah. That's why it's always a little leery to ask someone on to a place to like, f you.
Well, here's my stance on that. I had my problems with Rumble, and I am very outspoken about them, but unless it's brought up, I'm not going to actively talk about it because I just don't care about it anymore. Why? Because I'm at the point where I think that Chris and his team, regardless of what the opinion is about them is publicly amongst the people who still create content for Rumble and still support Rumble. I
Mm,
don't think that they're of the mind to actually listen to any negative feedback whatsoever.
yeah.
And even if it's constructive, they're probably not going to listen anyway
Mm,
because they're running a company. They're going to do what works for them.
mm,
Um, so I just like, well, okay, I kind of see the writing on the wall here. Uh, I have my suspicions that it may go the way of Mixer. It may not, but I'm just going to go ahead and take my things and go where my content actually has a little bit more value.
mm. Mm,
such as Twitch and Kick. Now, Kick, they do primarily IRL streams. That's their strength, but gaming is a big secondary on there.
right.
Rumble is news and politics, and Twitch, contrary to, well, not exactly contrary, some of it is true.
Mm,
They started out as a gaming channel, and for the most
yeah.
part, games are a big thing there.
Yeah.
But as some of their objectors will say, IRL and hot tub streams, as it's put, are also pretty big there too. But
Mm,
exactly to what proportion, I'm not sure.
yeah. Mm, yeah. Neither do I. I've not. I have an account there, but I don't put anything there because it's just uh, it's just too many places, not enough time in the day, and I'm not trying to stretch myself thin here. But no, and I mean you're not wrong in the sense of like that feeling of not getting heard, because there are a lot of people who feel that way. But at the end of the day, I've been at the positions like it's a business. YouTube makes no one feel special unless they want them to. Neither does Kick or Twitch. They're all companies at the end of the day, and their main point is to make money. Because there was a platform out there called Noise. I don't know if you've ever heard that one.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, but there was a platform that was sort of like streaming and stuff and all that. And it did seem like they had a similar UI to Twitch, but it's been a long while. But basically, they missed their, I think it was like they missed their time window for fundraising. They couldn't get enough money to fundraise, and they had to shut it down. And so when you have a company like Noise and it's not able to make the money, they shut down and people have to go elsewhere, right? Like company's a company. It is what it is. But um but yeah, I'm here to be honest instead of rather just be like hype man or whatever because I'm not it's not how this goes. And I'd rather have the data to back me up on what I say rather than just say, oh, well, I can say this, and this, like, oh, you have nothing to back you up. Like, yes, I do. Um, but yeah, and I understand that, at least for your end, you do what you do, which is best for you. And that's pretty much what should be for any creator is do what's best for you.
Right. It's about all I can do at this point.
Yeah.
I used to believe very strongly on Rumble. It's like I used to believe that like they would listen to even the smallest of creators for feedback, but
Mm.
I quickly learned that that's probably not the reality of it.
Which is the sad part, but again, it just shows it's more of a business side. Because this is the thing that gets me. Um, that gets me about, and this is on any platform. Like you can go to Kick and you can see this same sort of thing. You can go to Twitch and you can see this. It's when people on a platform start calling it a family. That's what gets me every time. Is when people on a platform, right? They build these connections with people and all this stuff, and then they start calling this group a family. Like community, sure, whatever, friends, whatever, sure. But when you start calling
Right.
it family, it that makes it sound like it's no different than when your company, whatever full-time job you have outside of streaming, uses that same sort of thing, like, oh, we're all a family here.
Yeah, that sets off red flags to me.
Yeah. And it's not coming from the company itself, it's coming from the creators who are streaming on the platform themselves, which is understandable, but I don't accept that because I know and understand it is a business at the end of the day. And businesses do not care about families or whatever. They care about needing money to survive. They need to promote themselves. Oh, well, Rumble barely promotes itself the way it needs to. But regardless, on the scale of business or whatever, they need money to stay afloat. And if they don't, then they become something like Noise, which doesn't exist anymore. And that's the sad part.
Right.
So, um, but yeah, that's just me. I don't speak up against it. I've maybe said once or twice upon that remark when people say it, but I really don't accept that family motif because it's not a family. If just as a hypothetical, right? Say on Twitch, right? Because you use Twitch. Say on Twitch, of course, obviously you go there and you have a bunch of people who do say that, like their family Twitch, whatever. That it is what it is. Say you go to that, and all of a sudden one day, Twitch actually says, "Hey, we got to close up shop because Amazon says it's time to go." Not saying they will. It's hypothetical. Do you expect?
They have been doing a lot of layoffs, though.
Yeah, I did see the recent one about their communication person. It was on Twitter X, but it just they're not there yet. Well, they're not there yet. But if they do ever do the hypothetical, we're closing our doors. Do you think that those people will still be a family, or are they going to go to other platforms where they're going to build new families? In that essence,
Well, that depends on one major factor. Did they build a community around themselves or did they build a community around the platform? Those are two different concepts to me.
that's true. And the funny part is, majority of the time, it's mostly around the platforms.
Right. Which can become a double-edged sword. It's like, oh, you're on a platform and you're getting a lot of support on the platform and
Mm,
perhaps even from the platform.
mm,
Rumble has this in spades, by the way.
mm.
And it's not just exclusive to Rumble. There are other sites that has this. I see this on Kick as well.
Oh yeah.
Um, but if you're wanting to kind of shelter, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Kind of build like insurance, if you
Yeah.
will, against this
Yeah.
kind of thing. I would suggest picking up multi-streaming.
Yeah.
Um, Back when Dr. Disrespect joined Rumble, I kind of saw the writing on the wall and especially being in some of the interviews with Chris Pavlovsky. One of the phrases that he had used, I think it was with an interview with the Quartering. He
Mm,
said he doesn't just want people who turn on a camera and game. He wants people that work hard. Well, if you understand corporate speech, working hard doesn't really matter. He wants people that gets results instead. What kind of results are they looking for? Well, at the time, no one really knew.
mhm.
But if you look at what the creator program is now and couple that in with the fact that there is more requirements coming down the road, those are the results that they're looking for. I saw
Yeah.
that writing on the wall and I decided, you know what? I'm just going to start multi streaming because I can kind of see this going south eventually. And I kind of said something about that back in the raid and rant days.
Mhm.
I got some pushback on that, but oh well, I'm just going to do what's best for me.
Yeah. No, and you're not wrong. I mean, they at a certain point he had mentioned that one, it's not Rumble's not a charity. Well, duh, no platform is. Hello.
Right.
But the issue of it was that it wasn't a creator program anymore. It was a tester program because people would test new updates and products that were coming out. So essentially, he basically stated at one point that it wasn't a creator program. It was a tester program where you're testing the new products and stuff that are coming out from Rumble itself.
Right.
Y-
I don't think it was a creator program at all. I think it was just a
Yeah.
creator program in name only.
Yeah.
When it first rolled out, I had stated in the past that I think this is just a Rumble promotion program.
Yeah.
Because what are their payout metrics based off of? How well you promote certain things with the Rumble.
Mhm.
And then we get to one of the things that kind of broke the straw with me is that one of the metrics that they pay out people is for Rumble Premium signups. If
Yeah.
you go to the Rumble Premium signup page, one of the things that they advertise right there front and center in big bold letters is skipping ads.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get where I'm going at on that one.
Because you're not the only one who stated about continue. Sorry.
Yeah. And then people pay to skip ads, and then one of the recent requirements is, oh, by the way, we're going to have our creators read ads anyway, and you can't skip them because they're baked into the video anyway. So
Yeah.
it's like you made the whole thing one of the big selling points of Rumble Premium kind of redundant.
Well, as a kind of a side note, right? Because obviously all platforms have some, mostly all platforms have ads, but just like you looking at YouTube, right? I have come across edited video content where you do have them have a sponsorship that's like right in the video somewhere, like halfway or part way or whatever. Um,
Right. It is kind of that. And then it gets to and then it becomes a question is like, okay, what's acceptable? Letting creators have the choice to put that stuff in their content or
mm,
having it required to be paid by the platform. Rumble's the only one that has it required.
yeah.
And when it comes to ads itself, Kick is the only one that does not serve ads at all.
Mm, interesting. I didn't know that. But then again, you don't have like a kick premium thing that they have. So there's that.
They
Uh,
recently rolled out Kicks. They're trying to find ways to monetize without it being invasive or overbearing.
hmm. Yeah, no, I did see that Kicks. I thought that was more of like their point of bits, like Twitch bits, Kicks, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's basically a one-to-one to bits.
Yeah, which makes sense. But yeah, you're not wrong because I mean you're not the only person who has brought up that like it doesn't make sense to promote Rumble Premium, which says no ads, and yet when you're in a creator program, either during the premium only stream or not premium only stream, you're still doing ad reads. Now, obviously, the ad reads is a choice. Being in the creator program is a choice, but
Correct.
you also have this thing with like again going back to YouTube where you do have these creators who get sponsorships or whatever, or I guess their own sort of ad reads. I don't know how it works for YouTube, but they'll read it in a chunk of their video, and then you can just I mean you can skip it. Obviously, you can skip it, but if it's a live stream, you can't skip it. So there is a difference. It's just they're also different arenas of that sort of thing, if that makes sense.
I'm not entirely sure exactly how YouTube handles it, but as far as I'm
Yeah.
aware, sponsorships, I think they obtain off the website and then they use affiliate links to track them
Mhm.
or something similar to that.
Mhm.
But you could still earn through ad monetization on YouTube once you get partnered, which requires a minimum of 1,000 subscribers, which
Mhm.
giving the user base of YouTube that
Easy.
ideally wouldn't be hard, but
Yeah.
that depends on how the algorithm wants to handle your content.
Yeah.
Theoretically, the algorithm wants to find an audience that's right for you, but hard to say, having not really done a whole lot of investment over on YouTube.
Yeah. I've sort of streamed my stuff over there, but I do something that's not really confined to one arena where I've heard like it's consistency and sort of like repetition of thing in order to get that sort of appearance by the algorithm stuff. But then again, it's like I didn't do it for that. If something hits and it gets seen, sure, great. There you go. I mean, got a lot of people looking, but I know I do a thing that's not very um widely out there on that regard of whether it be just gaming or just storytelling or just politics or whatever you want to call it, whatever the main thing is, I don't have that main thing other than the conversational aspect, which is just that, and that's multivaried from each guest, from first guest, the second guest, the third guest, multivaries, but there's still some things talked about that are relatable to some degree. But yeah.
Yeah, basically, you cover the creator space and what each creator does.
Well, I do more than that. I do people who aren't creators as well.
Oh,
I've
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I have had on people from all over the world, basically. Well, English speaking world, I should point to that because my secondary language is not so good. Uh,
Yeah.
so don't ask me to speak Espanol. It's not going to go well.
I just look at him and say, no hable español. English?
No habla español, señor.
Yep.
¿Por qué?
Basically
Oh,
translates to, I don't speak Spanish. English, please.
yeah. Oh my goodness.
Not word for
Yes.
word, but that's basically what it means.
Hey, someone's been to a place where they serve a one too many margaritas. All right, no, I'm just joking.
Right.
Oh, I've never drunk though. But anyway, it is the top of the hour, sort of. It is past the top of the hour, but it is the top of the hour. And so what happens is that I set aside some time for me and my guest to promote our stuff. Now, again, like I said earlier, for those who don't, usually just say like a few good words or whatever they want. Really, sort of. We try to keep it at least PG-13 sort of thing. Get a little too wild, and people be like, "Oh snap!" But anyway, give me 1 second. One,
Okay.
1 second, and there you go. Oops. Press enter. There we go. All right. So if you want, so the floor is yours, good sir. If you want to promote your stuff.
Yeah, I'm a robot VTuber that is also an amateur 3D artist. Occasionally, I will do 3D art streams, primarily for myself, for my own kind of stuff. Made my own character, made the props. I should probably sit down and get to doing some of the backgrounds, like this background behind me, redoing that. Um, but for the most part, I just play mostly video games for the on my streams, chill and have a great time. We have some laughs. If you go to my Twitch, you can find a whole bunch of clips there. In fact, I'm live over on Twitch and Kick right now if you want to go check it out. Alternatively, if you just want to catch my shorts over on YouTube, I upload my shorts and VODs over the YouTube for uh, archival purposes. But that's pretty
Nice.
much the most of what I do.
Nice. Yeah. And again, all his links are in his link tree right there. And again, his link will be on both the Rumble and YouTube side because I stream to both places. Uh, the smartest thing to understand is not to be on one platform because YouTube and Twitch taught that. But all platforms teach you not to be on one platform because they kind of get screwy after a while. So,
Much to Twitch's grievances.
but yeah, that is definitely true, especially with what happened over the TwitchCon thing. Yeah, that wasn't a good look.
Oh, it's
Um,
not just that. Twitch has adopted a stance of being against multi-streaming. Have you heard this story?
well, I don't think so, but we'll get to that after we get through
Okay.
our stuff. But anyway, but again, his links will be on both Rumble YouTube side. Give him a look, and if he's worth a follow, why not? Right? Uh, I
Yeah.
don't, I don't, not one of those people where you hear them say like, "Go follow this person," whatever. No, that doesn't really work. It really is about the person selling themselves and the way they want to sell themselves. I know that makes them sound like a prostitute, but that's not the case.
No, this is part of the point. Being an independent VTuber, you got to be able to advertise yourself
Advertise
in a
yourself.
way
There
that
you go.
is appealing. And I just say, just go check out my stuff. If you like it, you like it. If not, that's okay. I thank you for your time.
There you go. See, it's like the old days where you had the person with like the billboard on front. You had the little billboard on the front and
Oh
back.
yeah,
All
the
across.
sign holders, they'd be like spinning it and twirling it. It's like, hey, car wash here.
And then they poke someone's eye. I was like, oh, oh,
Oh,
oh,
sorry.
oh,
Then they catch
oh.
a liability lawsuit.
Yeah. No, I was talking like the billboard signs, that ones you can wear. Like you can wear, you have the one in the front and the one in the back. I don't know what the actual
Oh, those, yeah.
yeah, the walking billboards. I have heard stories where someone once like tattooed a thing to his body. I don't know. It was such a long time ago.
That
But yeah,
sounds wild.
yeah, that's crazy stuff. But anyway, links down below for his end, and of course for my end, whether you're on the Rumble side or YouTube side, doesn't matter which side you're on, because I stream to both. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow, anything that helps with the engagement factor is much appreciated. Because not only does it help in being seen more, like all content creators want to be, it also helps in having other people on, like Zin, like Malay K, like Tomby, like so many other people. At the end of the day, I've had on over 270 plus people. Because I've gotten to
That's
talk.
impressive.
Well, the most impressive part is that a few of them have blocked me. So,
Yeah.
and there has been no
Well,
rhyme. Yeah,
those things kind of happen.
and there's been no rhyme or reason. It's just like blocked. What happened? Why did you block me? It was funny enough. One of them I was friends with on a Discord, and I got blocked there too. I was like, wow, what did I do? I'm just like,
You may never know.
yeah, that's the one thing is you're left dumbfounded. It's like I don't. What is this? Like, what did I do that you blocked me all of a sudden? I say something with disagree with something like that. I just don't get it. It's really the stupid part of content creation. It's like if you want to have a conversation, I'm open to it. Sure, behind the scenes, all that stuff. But like, if you're just gonna block outright, then what makes you look good in my eyes when I've had no issue with the individual? Just weird and sad, but weird almost. But anyway, any help with the engagement factor is much appreciated. Yeah, over two. What was the last count? Hold on. All right, hold on. I did update the list earlier yesterday. Yeah, I updated it yesterday. I need to find out how many are it. If I can. Yep, there we go. Let's see what we got. Oh, actually, it's at this point is over 290 various guests. So good thing.
300 special coming up?
I I didn't do one for my 200 one. I am so I don't know. I'm not doing a 24/7 stream or a 12-hour stream, so please don't look for me for that. I just
Fair.
I
That's fair.
I have a full-time job. I don't need to push it for this. Uh I don't know. I really haven't done anything special for them. I may do like a solo stream just uh you know what? Maybe that's what I'll do for this next 200. I've made a list. I have the checklist and I'll just go through that 300. I'll go as long as there's a name to say, and then when I'm done, that'll be it, right? Um,
If I may offer a suggestion,
yes, sir.
since you've discussed with so many people over the years, why not go through like a highlight reel or something like that? Discuss your favorite memories of discussions with them, things that stand out in your mind.
Oh man, that's a tough one because when you have when you have and some people come on multiple times, so there's that too. People have to be minded of that. So that's a difficult one because they all have their place. Um, my thing is
Right.
I never want them to be seen as a waste because it is a moment in time captured with that individual, and that moment in time could be found as a oh, this person similar attributes or something like that, where somebody may see that and they're like, oh, so they have this sort of same kind of thinking than I do, or that sort of thing. And that's why, even if that guest blocked me, they'll still have a place on that wall because we shared a few moments in time. And, um, they may block me, but they'll still get remembered one way or another. So there's that.
Oh, I was wondering what all those post-it notes behind you were.
Oh, no, those are Rumble rants. Those are Rumble rants. Uh,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are people who've given, Rumble Rants because 'cause I'm not monetized in YouTube, so, that's that,
Fair.
but I am
It's
instantly mo yeah. I am instantly monetized on Rumble, so that's what those are for. I don't know how many those are. Actually, I'm making. I'll show you after. But anyway, yeah. Again, over 290 plus people may do a read through of all the people that have come on and may chat a bit about what I remember of them. Maybe stop by a stream. I don't know. It again, it's a lot of people. If
it's
I
a
could
lot of people, a lot of memories to go through.
Oh, Lord, yes, it is, and if I can remember at least a quarter of them, I'll be good.
Yeah.
That's why they're recorded, otherwise it would not be a great time. Um, but yeah, that's what I'll do. I'm actually looking forward to when I do 365, because that's when I'll have a year of people, right? Like 365 days, 365 people, so that will be a year of people, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So, but that's still a far ways off. But again, they're not. Again, for people who are here, they're not telemarks. They're not just people to go through and absorb content. Whether they are people who have perspectives and opinions, life stories, life lessons, and all above that. Maybe something of that can grab onto you and say, "Oh, so they're not that much different after all." And there you go.
Yeah, they're not numbers on a spreadsheet.
Like, technically, they are by a number on a spreadsheet, but that's beside the point. I kept forgetting how many people I've had on, so I had to do a spreadsheet. Okay, guys, come on. All right.
Yeah, that's fair. When you're dealing with a lot of people, there's only so many
Yeah.
that you can handle.
Yeah. Or remember right off the bat, but I do try to remember them as best I can. So anyway, here's my link, my own link tree. You can go there. You can see uh my Twitter X is there, my email is there, my link to Discord is there, but it's mostly just for DMing. I don't have a drive to have a server on Discord because I've heard horror stories, and two, because again, I only have so much mental bandwidth, so not gonna stretch myself then because I want to enjoy doing this, not enjoy burnout, which many people get stuck in. So there's that. And of course, last few things. Obviously, I am in the creator program, but I only in the Rumble Creator Program, but only meet the minimum to stay in it, not get paid. So there's that. However, I am part of Proton's partner program. And so if you people have never heard of Proton, Proton offers a suite of things: Proton Mail, Proton VPN, Proton Drive, Proton Pass. And so what I'm promoting this point is the containment of that whole suite. It's called Proton Unlimited. And so for I do a
I
year.
can vouch for Proton. I've used their VPN before. It's really good. They don't do
Oh,
logs.
yeah. Well, and the all the other stuff too. Some people have used the mail, and there's again, you can use the mail, Proton Mail, and Proton VPN for free if you want to find out if it's worth it to you, right? You can't use the other ones; they're not free to use. You do have to pay for them, but individually, of course. But if you just want to all in one go, because you do get more benefit with the unlimited plan rather than just the free one. Because I know with like Proton Mail, if you get the Proton Unlimited, you get um email domains, I think it is, from, like, Proton Mail. I'm gonna have to look it up again. Uh
Uncertain. I've only used their VPN.
you know what? We'll do a quick we'll do a quick. I can just take us there quickly. Uh, Cause I am just that cool, and also it's a learning experience. Let's go learn for a little bit. There we go. So
Yeah.
this is where the link takes you, right? You'll get to see all the other stuff, and again, they'll give you some small stuff. All the selling points. I get it, but there are some um there's some interesting points that they make and all this stuff. The VPN, protect your data, all that. They're really great about that. They're really great about the privacy and protection. And again, nothing on the internet is 100%. Never, ever believe when someone tells you that it's 100% protected or 100% private or all that. It can
There was
only
only
be.
one company, I kinda wanna think it was Proton, but I'm not sure,
Hmm.
that the FBI came in and they demanded logs, and they handed him, like, this really encrypted log, so to say, and when they finally encrypted it after, like, 72 hours of just sitting there trying to decrypt it themselves, it just said, "Oh, by the way, we don't have any logs."
There you go. Yep, there you go. And when you come to this, so this is like a quick prim view of all that stuff, Proton VPN, like you use, watch, read content from the world, block ads, trackers, malware, Proton Mail, send and then encrypted emails, no ads or trackers in your inbox, protect your email address from data breaches, Proton Drive, keep your browser safe and encrypted, prevent photos from being used to train AI, share files securely, and collaborate on docs in real time, which they do have docs in Proton Drive, and Proton Passes, keep your account secure and easily accessible, log in faster, more securely, hide your email address and eliminate spam. And they just do all this. Like here's the majority. If you get the Proton Unlimited, this is the more you get. You get like Proton Drive, like you get like 500 gigabytes of encrypted storage. And the funny thing is though, if you're on this plan, right, the as far as I remember anyway, for the Proton Unlimited plan, if you're on this one, they actually give you 10 extra gigabytes every year as long as you're on it uh, for the 500 on Proton Drive. So
That's a
there's
good
that.
loyalty reward.
Oh yeah, yeah. I probably have maybe like a fifth. I don't even have that much on there. I have like a fifth. And it's like, wow, that's a lot.
So how much is their, this Proton Unlimited plan?
Here you go, right there. Uh,
12 months.
yeah. Well, 12 months. Well, obviously it's a year. So for those who don't
Right.
know, 12 months a year, and you get 23% off for that year.
10 bucks for a
Total.
whole year? That's a steal.
Yeah. If you have to use the link. Yeah, and it says right there 120 bucks for the first, well, 121. Uh
Oh, that's $10 a month. Okay.
yeah.
But still, that's a really decent price. I
Yeah.
got in when their prices were a little lower than that, so I
Yeah.
was grandfathered in at one point, then I had to cancel it for financial reasons.
Yeah, and that's understandable. I only pay 48 bucks a year for mine, and I got in when they were doing a deal too. But again, it's just it's window shopping, right? Like you don't have to
Right.
take it if you don't want to. But the point of the matter is, those they do a pretty good job of what they do, and I offer it because I offer the benefits, right? I want to promote the benefits. I'm not interested. Like I can get paid, sure, I can make money off of whatever, but it's not about the money because I use it, and you hear the stories about like companies getting hacked and that stuff gets sent out or whatever. And so you want something that'll help protect. You can there's a whole bunch of stuff, and it is really worth looking into. But again, you using this link, you get to save like 20% off for the annual part. And for people who don't know, annual means yearly. All right, because I know some people out there's like, what does annual mean? Does it? Some people will probably say it looks like annually, and it's like, no, that's not. That's not the
No.
that's not the correct saying of the word.
No, the backup what you're saying is like, I have used Proton. I trust Proton. This is a really good deal. Take it.
Yeah. And I did now I will say I did promote the like individual basis like Proton Drive one time, Proton Mail, but this just encompasses it all and you do get a lot of extra stuff with it. So whether or not you do, it's up to you, but the option is there and I appreciate you all for that remark. And again, the link will take you there and you use the link, you'll get that deal. Cuz otherwise, it just doesn't exist if you don't. It's you know how it goes, right? You use the link, you get the deal. If you don't use the link, you don't get the deal. That's how it works. But still, you can look at it anyway. And the last thing I do, this was sort of like an unexpected one because they're really nice people and they make their product in the USA. There is something called biltong. Now, I didn't know what biltong was. It's like a dried meat, but it's done in it's like a South African tradition sort of thing. How they do like it's not like if you knew beef jerky, right? This is not beef jerky, but this is sort of their version of it, I guess. That they dry their meat and all this stuff. And I've eaten some of it. They're actually the husband and wife who own this business, and they make it in Texas, but it's a South African tradition and you can go to the website. You'll see on front page biltong, but they sell so much stuff like UK sweets and treats from UK, some stuff from South Africa, a whole bunch of stuff. And it really is just it's like being an online grocery store. You could look at it, never buy anything, and that's fine too. But if you do buy something, um, they have given me a code to use so that when you go to check out, and I've tested this, so when you go to check out and they ask for like the promo code, you can just use code DARA. And you know what? Just as a quickie, since I showed you the last one, I'll show you this one too to kind of give you an idea of what this looks like, so that way we won't be confused. Or
Right. I'm thinking it sounds like some dry aged
okay,
meat,
so there you
which
go. So
I hear is pretty good. Yeah, this is dry aged.
yeah, so you have this biltong. Yeah, they dry age it and all that stuff, but they do with different spices, whatnot. But that's biltong right there. Obviously, I've tried. They have different like wagyu, Angus, and all that stuff. They also have some spicy one called peri peri. But literally, like it is delicious. I've tried it. At one point I was mixing it in with my eggs, because it was just good to add. But it's basically dry age. But they do have a bunch of stuff cookies, candies, canned stuff, and then mostly just a mixture of South African,
Grains.
yeah, South
Yeah.
African and UK, um, UK treats and whatnot. And I've ordered a few things here and there. I've actually made a current order I'm waiting on, but I'm getting like some dried goji berries. So they do sell goji berries. I'm getting those because I'm trying to eat a little healthier. But then eating dry aged meat is probably not the healthiest, but it's still better than beef jerky.
I'm
Has
kind of interested about the dry sausage.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, we can go. We can do that quickly. Here you go. Just kind of give you. So there's only two. They cabanosi and then drawers. Again, that's not.
Rollers.
Yeah, that's a South African term. I don't know how to say it correctly. Watch me try to say
I
another
probably
language.
mispronounced it too, but I went for it anyway.
So, but that's what they have. I mean, basically, that's the two things they sell, and I think the cabanossi is just wagyu beef and premium pork for creation of a made South African cabanossi. Oh, okay, so it's a mixture of meats. All right, but yeah, it's just dry.
Sausage often is.
Yeah, it's just dry aged, and then of course you go to the drawers over here. It's basically the same thing. And it's just beef and all that stuff. But yeah, they have a whole assortment of stuff. And again, it's not just biltong; it's a whole assortment of stuff. It just even if you just look to see and find out for yourself if you want to try it or not, it's up to you. But the code I give helps you save 10% either way on the total. And yeah, the husband and wife have been really nice. Um, when I don't know what happened, but they came to one of my streams once And then after a while, it's like, hey, if you email here, we'll give us your address and we'll send you some stuff. It's like, oh, you don't have to do that because I don't really want to inconvenience them. Said he wants to talk to you right now. Well, I'm kind of busy, so you'll have to give me his on Twitter X if you can. If you can give me his I'll try to talk to him. But November is full, so it won't be this month. But they were really nice. They contacted me. I gave them my address, and they sent me like two different bags of beef. One was Wagyu, and one was Angus. That's what it says in the package. And they had certain spices with them, whatever. They weren't spicy, but they were just you know tasty spices. And oh my gosh, I look it's easier to have your own taste for it than that, but I'm gonna tell you what, it was good. For me, it was good. And for it being a lot healthier than eating regular beef jerky, which I know there are some independent places that make their own beef jerky. I've had venison beef jerky before, so there are stuff like that, but I'm
There
just
was a time I used to make my own beef jerky. It was really good.
uh
Never lasted long.
yeah, that's the point. Like, even on their bags, they say, like, once you open it, you have 5 days to eat it. It's best to eat it within 5 days. So there's
Oh,
that.
it didn't last long, not because it went old or anything like that. It's because it was eaten that fast.
Oh my god. There you go. There's that too. Oh my goodness, but that's when you know it's good. And yeah, I haven't I'm going to try to share it with when I get it in, I'll try to share some with my family. And they can make a decision. But again, link is there. Joe, check it out for yourself. Like I just showed you, that's their front page and all that. You save 10% off on the total by using code DARA. Obviously, Dara all that stuff. But regardless, it's just there is an option, just like Proton. Again, they didn't have to do what they did. And obviously, I just want to return that kindness because, again, when people talk about American made products, right? American made clothing, silverware, all that sort of stuff. This is one of those products that, yes, is a South African tradition, but it is made in America. So why not? Right? Why not?
Right. Support local when you can.
Well, it's not local to me. I'm not in Texas because it is in Texas.
Well, local as in your own country.
Yeah. A little too far from me. Maybe one day I'll go down there, but a little too far away from me. Yeah, but and they're husband and wife. They're really basically a husband and wife that run this business. I think they have a kid, but yeah, no, I'm appreciative for it. But anyway, that's the end of my spiel for that. I apologize. I tried to not go too long, but when you're in it, you're just wanting people to understand where you're coming from. Because I mean, I don't know if you've seen Hey Sadie Pie. Sorry about that. Hope you're doing well. But I'm pretty sure you've seen like out there like other content creators and they sell their wares and all this stuff. And I've been very hesitant on that regard because I think I once had someone mention me like, "Why don't you have a mercer?" I'm like, I don't know. I mean, maybe, but I probably would just sell another hat. I probably just have a store so I could go and buy the hats from there.
I
Just
had
have
tried
it.
affiliate marketing myself, but I quickly gave it up because I didn't think I had the support to be able to make it something sustainable and worthwhile. So I just like, forget it.
Yeah,
Maybe some other time in the future.
yeah. I mean, I, I just, I know I don't have that uh, certain set of skills, but I do know is that people like authenticity, and that's what I promote. That's what I promote through what use of, eat of, and all that stuff. And I'd rather do that than just like sell another product. Because I can't tell you how many times I've come across on YouTube where there's already someone selling something, whether it be whether it be the sponsorship stuff or the ad stuff or whatever. It's just like there's always somebody selling something. It's like, what the hell is content creation in the first place?
Well, having been a product demonstrator in the past myself, I can tell you from experience it is you got the right idea. It is so much more easier to sell a product if you've tried it yourself and if you have samples. Like
Mhm.
if it's a live person setting where you can hand out these products for free, just like samples of it for people to try out.
Yeah.
Oh, it sells like hotcakes. especially if you got something that's worthwhile.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I remember going to it- like a Costco, right? If you've ever heard of Costco, they would have
Right.
they would have on certain days where they would give out a item for free, or they have actually they have them scatter them out. They'd have it scattered out throughout the store. On a certain day you get free samples. Right now, you'd only get one free sample because they were make sure of that. And not all samples were of equality. So you have a sample you'd want to try and a sample you'd want to avoid. so
Right.
it is what it is. But no, I think that um because again it feels like again going back to the whole content creator thing, it does feel like a majority of content creation has become sell this, sell that point, right? Just from my own personal perspective, at least from far as I've seen, it seems like it's become this, sell that, because everyone wants to make money doing something that's perceived as easier. At least what I keep hearing is like they want to be a content creator because they don't have to do 9 to 5 job. But the problem with that is that you tend to trade a 9 to 5 job for a 10 to 15 hour job. So
Well, it
being
kind of becomes your own business at that point, and you
yeah.
get a lot of freedom of doing it. Now, as for why they want to sell their own products, um, way back in the day, like back in YouTube's heyday, ad
Yeah.
revenue was very big, and then you had this whole adpocalypse things,
Mm,
which kind of drove creators to find an alternate source of revenue, and that's how this became popular and common. That's
yeah.
my theory on that.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that, but I remember hearing about it, but I was just a viewer at the time, and
Right, I was just a viewer myself.
so to kind of like I don't even know what that means, but if you're a content creator, you'll probably back in that day you probably would understand that. But yeah, I don't know what happened exactly, but I knew it was pretty bad enough they call it the apocalypse.
Well, Steven Crowder has taken responsibility for starting that because it started when content creators were putting a lot of really questionable content on the platform, like
Yeah.
highly questionable stuff of like, why should this be here kind of stuff, instead of on some other backwater website.
Mm,
And then a lot of people went to advertisers like, hey, your ads are being advertised on this stuff. Are you okay with that being on there? And then the advertisers went, no, that's not okay. We need to have discussions with YouTubes and have more policies put in place to make sure that this is not a thing. And then ads started getting pulled from those videos, and then people's revenue just took a downturn as a result. And it hasn't really ever recovered since.
mm.
This has been the case still of now because advertisers are still being choosy about what kind of content that they're putting their ads on.
Yeah, and that's what the whole I don't know if the copyright lends itself in that, but that's why some people get a lot of heat, for like the word said or something that's been shown, or even if a slight of bit of copyright is in the thing, and they get hit with those because it's really that point is basically the ad people saying we don't want our stuff with that, and so that's why more of the times than not you'll find those better ads on ad friendlier streams or videos or whatever. Um, because that's just how it is. Um,
Right now, I had mentioned Steven Crowder as admitting to taking some responsibility of that. Allegedly, if my information is correct on this, I think he was one of the people that was saying that was doing a lot of the finger pointing is like, hey, this kind of content exists on YouTube. Why are they monetized? Why are they getting ads on this stuff?
yeah,
So I think he kind of had a big hand in getting that ball rolling. And since then,
yeah,
he has apologized. Full
yeah.
disclosure, he has apologized for that.
Well, that's good. I mean, I again, that's way before paying attention to, but I mean, it, you again, you can, it's not promoted, but again, you can go on YouTube and you can find naked yoga. So I mean,
Right.
yeah, it's
And then
one
they
of
label it as educational, so it's even to this day, it's still ongoing. It's still a back and forth game of like what's acceptable, what's not, what should be
yeah,
have advertisements on it, what shouldn't, and it's just always going back and forth.
Yeah, I yeah, yes, it's not even recommended. That is true, I know. But I just like YouTube can't really get away with not being a place. You have Twitch and the thoughts. We were talking about earlier about Twitch having the thoughts and stuff. YouTube has naked yoga, and I just like you can find it, and it's just like no platform's really free from that. Not even Rumble's free from that kind of stuff.
Well,
Eh,
not even Rumble, which there was a big stink made about that back when, Motherland Casino joined Rumble. That really shined a light on the whole thing,
yeah,
but
well,
that's kind of its own topic.
yeah, well, and I'm just talking like their streams where people are showing off like the uh bikini stuff, and I've heard some of like uh sort of like the booty shake twerking sort of thing. But
Mhm.
yeah, I remember when the Motherland thing. And at this point, though, I doubt she's even streamed to Rumble anymore. Anyway, stuff's there, but nothing's been turned on in quite some time. So either it's become not worth it to her, or I guess the overreaction or whatever you want to call it got too much that she didn't want that fire or whatever. Cause have you seen her the whole Easy Azalea been doing that stuff with Neon? That's crazy.
No, I haven't paid attention since. I didn't even know about her prior to that. I just saw the like, "Oh, Motherland Casino thing," and people had problem with it. Let me go check out what the content. Oh,
Yeah.
this is the stuff that people said that they didn't want from Twitch coming over here, and now it's here. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah. No, that's the funny thing right there. But no, it was Izzy Azalea is the owner of it. She's the owner of like the mother Bitcoin crypto sort of thing. And she's been doing this thing with another content creator called Neon, who's been on, I don't know, his story is a mess because he's been in a lot of trouble at some points. He's been on Kick, he's been on Twitch, all that stuff. I think he's on Twitch. And they've just been doing like not every time, but once in a while, once a blue moon, they've been doing these streams together. And it's kind of weird of why she chose him. Be honest, I'm not sure, but
Hmm,
since you don't know anything about it, I won't go any further. But still, it's just been,
right.
Izzy Azalea, all that stuff. That's that she owns, and of course, for those who know, Izzy Azalea was once a. She probably still does sing, but she doesn't sing to make records, if that makes sense. So, because she was a singer, back in the day, but that's like I don't know, rap or something like that. I don't know. Um, but regardless, but yeah, like you said, they didn't want they kept saying we don't want the things that Twitch has coming over, but it's like you can't really stop it, and there's really no way not to see it.
Well, I had found I don't have the proof of this because I remember one of my viewers at the time came on there when I was all about like holding Rumble accountable for stuff. I got to see what Rumble's terms of service used to read right, and it explicitly stated no bikinis.
Mhm.
It doesn't say that anymore. It's very
Interesting.
nebulous now.
Ooh, interesting. That's that's when you know that they're willing to bend the rules a bit or change the rules a bit to allow certain things on to get the attention rather
Right.
than what is principle to when money gets involved? That's the real question.
Yeah, it's like what takes more priority, money or principles? In the case of business, it's always going to be money because you got to keep things rolling. You got to keep the investors happy.
Yeah,
And it goes back to what I stated earlier, like certain sacrifices, certain things have to be done to keep the business going, whether people like it or not.
yeah, and it's the sad truth of all platforms, really, because in
This
this,
is true.
yeah, in this field of content creation, again, starting with YouTube and branching out to the other ones like Twitch and Kick and all that sort of stuff, content creation has become this whirlwind of you you'll have people who will create content they want and the money is a bonus. They exist. You have people who just uh who create content and make it big, say like Ninja or Asmon Cold or all that stuff, Pokemon, all that stuff. And then you have people who are really just doing all that to make the money and whatnot. And that's pretty much almost all platforms at this point is the monetization part of it. And that's what I've always found, one, interesting, because obviously, it's a time thing, but also, two, is the question of what is content creation at its very core? What is it when you add monetization to it?
Now, what is it? What does it become?
Yeah,
Because prior to when monetization was a thing, people would just do it for fun. Like,
yeah,
if you go back to the days, this is long before YouTube ever took off.
mm,
Newgrounds used to be
what is it?
like the place.
Yeah, yeah,
And a lot of the stuff that millennials seem to remember, myself included, although I was very late to the party of it.
mm,
Um, there's a lot of stuff that even still exists on Newgrounds now.
mm,
Um, where just people just make stuff just to make stuff and have fun.
mm. Yeah, I
That
don't
that's
even.
kind of become my MO nowadays. Now that I had to since leaving Rumble, I had to sit down and really think about it. It's like, okay, what am I streaming for? What am I here for?
Yeah,
I'm here to have fun. I'm here to grow a community, kind of like not like a family per se, but more like a group of friends that I can hang out with, have a laugh,
mm,
have some fun doing it. Because it goes back to like my childhood. For some reason, I've always enjoyed other people watching me play games.
mm,
I don't know why, can't explain it, but that's just how it is. And streaming has allowed me to do that.
yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people are kind of that same boat where you know playing games with others or whatever, and people can get to see that and all that. I with what's going on now though, it does seem like a lot of people want to become content creators, and some of them may do it for the pay, some may do it for the other things, but it does seem like more and more people want to be content creators, and the problem with that is that, one, it's not for everyone, because I still work a full-time job. I don't ever think I'll rely on this for full-time, but I don't know, it just, once monetization was added as a bonus to keep people there, to keep people creating and whatnot, but I do think it's like it's that changer of, it changes what the original core of creating content was. Like, obviously, you can build a business, right? There's nothing against that. Nothing against building a business, marketing, all that sort of stuff, and then people buying just like, handcraft, Etsy, right? You got stuff like Etsy where people sell handmade products and whatnot. You could do the same thing through YouTube or whatever platform, show off your stuff. But now it's become such a huge business in itself that, like, I post my old shorts that I've done and put on YouTube, and I've kind of put them on, some of them on TikTok, and you can call it what you will, brain rot, whatnot, but it does have that sort of algorithmic thing that showcase people and all that stuff. And I can't tell you, like yesterday, I was scrolling through, and there was like, the live streams, of course, but then you'd have this live stream like them trying to sell a product, right? Then you'd have live streams, and then a live stream of them trying to sell more products. I'm just like, this is what it's become at this point. It's just selling products.
Right. And people want to make a business out of it. And I think what it is that when once people started seeing that like these big content creators from way back in the day start getting a lot of money out of it because they started posting their successes about it and all that stuff,
Yeah,
you're like, wow, I can do whatever I want with content creation. I don't have to worry about a manager and I can make this much amount of money, which is absurdly much more than what I make now.
yeah,
Oh, we're going to get into that. And then it just caught on so much that we're now running into the problem of where there's only so much money, but there's too many people.
yeah. I and this is just kind of a kind of thought. I wonder if that's going to ultimately lead to a collapse eventually, where monetization is once taken out of the picture, and then people are left with the first point that was happened when YouTube first started, right? Just posting for fun. And I'm not sure if it'll be now or it'll be later, but sooner or later, even with X, right? Like X has monetization, and there was engagement post after engagement post after, and it's still a thing. It's almost insanity at a certain point when you think about it.
I don't think it's going to go away. I only think it's going to evolve as time continues on.
Okay. Okay. What from that, what evolution do you see it taking then?
Well, let's see here. Online product placements are probably going to become redundant and irrelevant going on in the future because people are just going they're getting you just like with ads.
Mhm.
You flood people with enough of this stuff,
Yeah.
they're going to want to skip it and just completely ignore it. You kind of see this with YouTube with an add-on called sponsor block, which
Mhm.
if a YouTuber puts like a sponsorship section inside their video,
Yeah.
it relies on user generated data and it will automatically skip over it for you, saving you time.
Nice.
It also, if like a content creator wants to make like a really long 10-minute video about something that could be summarized in a single minute,
Mhm.
um, you could put a highlight in a video that looks like this little pink mark on the timeline. And you could just click it and get straight to the point and not have your time wasted that way.
Wow.
I would not be surprised if content creators eventually come up with some idea of like something new. We would kind of see this with like personal merchandise. It's like, oh, you remember this funny meme that I had with my content that's really caught on with the
Mhm.
within the community and stuff like that, and it just become an in-house joke.
Mhm.
Some things I see happening is people would make merchandise out of it, like T-shirts and so on and so forth, like hats.
Yeah.
That could be the next norm, and I think that would be acceptable for a period of time until it just doesn't work anymore, and then the next thing comes along. It just keeps
Mhm.
going and going and going.
Yeah. I can see that sort of it's sort of like it yeah, there yeah, from that remark then yeah, there is probably going to be a evolution of how it goes about because obviously, I use for my own example, I use Brave and going to YouTube that blocks ads because I'm not going to pay $15 a month to do that. And they do it. Brave has done burn pretty well so far for all this other stuff too, because they offer a whole bunch of other things. But for that, it's worked out pretty well. But um, but yeah, I just see companies trying to get around that sort of circumventing that sort of thing, and then trying to find that thing that will get the ad in your face beyond the point of blocking. It's gonna be a cat and mouse game, really, where it's gonna be like trying to block it and then trying to get over that block and then blocking.
Yeah, and then you're going to see companies that are actually we already see this with Kick. Frankly, I mentioned this earlier. They don't serve ads.
Yeah.
And I was watching one of the streams from the CEO. I think he calls it Kick Talk
Yeah.
or something like that. I forget exactly what the phrasing he used for it. It's been a hot minute, but I remember sitting in on one of those, and he outright admitted that people don't like to see ads, and that's why they're trying to avoid putting ads on Kick. And
Mhm.
they're trying to hold off on doing that for as long as possible. And while they're doing that, they're trying to find new ways of monetizing their system. Now, exactly what they got planned for doing that, I don't know.
Yeah. And I think that's where and see, now you could point to say like Odyssey and say, well, they don't have ads too, but the problem of it is they have investors who are investing for them not to have ads. But what happens when the investor's investment runs out?
Right.
I-
Then
I-
it becomes a question of why bother?
yeah, it's it the idea, at least for Kick, is nice because it gets around the problem that's been an issue for a long time. Like, you go to regular TV now, and you get nothing but ads almost every a movie, if you're to watch a movie like TBS or whatever, the movie's like 5 minutes long, and you're getting served a majority of it with just ads. People don't wanna watch ads anymore, right?
Actually, almost a third of it. If
Yeah.
you cut out the ads and you
Mm.
cut out the intro and the credits, you probably get about like 20, 22 minutes worth of content out of a 30-minute block.
Man, that a 2-hour movie turned into an hour movie. That's crazy. Jeez
Right.
Louise. That's insane. But yeah,
Most movies that they would air are typically about an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 20. They turn that, stretch it out to 2 hours. So they're
ugh,
serving you about 40 minutes of ads.
those monsters. Ugh.
Yeah,
But
and then they wonder why cable TV lost its popularity.
yeah, I in some ways cable TV is sort of a bit like how Nintendo, it has certain exclusivities that can't be seen elsewhere. But sooner or later,
Right.
I mean, you got the internet, man. You've got exclusivities pouring out, like stuff from like what was it, HBO Max and all this stuff, the Netflix, all this stuff gets leaked out to the internet eventually. There's
Yeah,
no
and then they
real.
caught on to that, and now they're trying to, I see you can see this over on YouTube happening in real time right now. They're trying to make YouTube the next cable TV.
I did hear they lost some ability, like they lost ESPN and all that stuff on YouTube, but that was just something last week I heard about. But regardless, but yeah, I agree that there's going to be an evolution, but it's also going to be a cat and mouse game. It's going to be interesting to see how that equally plays out. Um, but regardless, it is getting to that point in time, and so we're gonna start winding down, because I don't wanna. I know you have to get leaving soon, so I don't want to keep you up forever. But regardless, we're gonna go through our what we did earlier at the first top of the hour, and then kind of go for a few extra things, and then we'll be on our way out. So here's your link, good sir, if you want to promote yourself. The floor is yours.
Yeah. I'm a robot VTuber that's also an amateur 3D artist. The model you're looking at is actually my work, not the background though. That's something else entirely. That will be redone eventually. Uh, I also play majority of games. The games that I play as FPS games, RPGs. I do tip into other kind of genres as well. So you could easily say that I'm a variety streamer.
Mhm.
But I generally just want to stream online and have a great time. So go check out my stuff. You can find me on Twitch and Kick Live. You don't want to catch me live and you don't want to go to those places. Okay, that's fair. My VODs are over on YouTube, and you can also catch my shorts there as well.
Mm.
Want to hang out and catch me when I'm not live? There's a publicly available Discord in that link tree as well. So go check that out too if you want to hang out and see what I get up to when I'm not live.
Mm. And as they say, the robot knows how to sell himself, so there you go.
Yeah, that's been a joke for a while, but it is technically true. I do know how to sell stuff.
There you go. Hey, you know what? When you can start it's only when you start selling robotic, and if you buy here for 5.99.
Yeah, and if you buy here for $5.99, you can get it for 20% off. Okay. Yeah, I get it.
That that would be a great point. You could just you could just make up a product whatever you want and just sell it for and just doing that voice, and you're just like, what the hell was I just watching? Oh man, that'd be hilarious. Like, what the hell is he trying to sell this time? If you buy now, it'll be great for your burning on your feet.
Do you like those mock-up commercials like I used to watch on YouTube where it's like, "Oh, this is like it looks like a legitimate commercial, but it's actually like some horrifically eldritch product that's supposed to mess with you."
Yeah. Or it's reminds me of when you had the whole what was they call that? On real TV or something like that, on TV, something where you'd have the infomercial, and there's one I remember was called the heat oven or whatever, and the tagline was you can set it and forget it and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were basically called infomercials.
Yeah, infomercials. So you'd have the, and
That's
then
what's
of course they've sold them like in like they're on their own shelf too in a store where they have like this as seen on TV sort of thing. Um,
right.
but yeah, they're basically sometimes they're good ideas and sometimes maybe not so much. Uh, so there's that. But anyway, again, his link will be both on the Rumble side and YouTube side. So if you want to check him out, it's there. But if not, you know what? Just give him a look and see, right? It's nothing about forcing following, because usually that again, you can have 1,000 followers and have 20 people viewing you. Really, it's the basis at this point. Like you can have 10,000 followers and maybe have a quarter of that watching you. So
Right, exactly. It's like if someone follows me, I hope it's genuinely because they enjoy my content and they enjoy hanging out with me and having a great time.
Yeah, that is true, but there's not enough time in the day for everyone, and that's
Right, that
why
is true.
I think Twitch's and YouTube's pool of people is what makes it reasonable enough to stay on there because of just that billions of people. Billions of people use well, millions of people probably use Twitch, billions of people use YouTube. So when you have a
Actually,
pool,
Twitch is doing something interesting that I learned about.
what is that?
Um, Twitch, what they'll do is that if you make affiliate, not
Mm,
partnered, partners
right.
don't get this treatment.
Mm,
If you make affiliate on Twitch, which I'm trying to do right now,
yeah,
uh, even if your numbers are a little low, they kind of mix it up between high and low viewers. And and they have like an algorithm on the back end a little bit.
yeah,
So it's like if you watch a certain category, like say for example, I watched a lot of Zelda stuff. When
yeah.
I go to browse on there via category, Zelda's right there top front and center because it's what I watched a lot of.
Mhm,
And then when I go onto that category, you can see like a whole mix of like there'll be like a low count stream, and then there'll be like a high view count stream, and then there'll be another low count one, and then be like a two more high, then three more low counts.
yeah, and yeah, I just know there's that difference between the amount one gets to keep if you're affiliate and partner, but I didn't know there was that with that difference between affiliate and partner.
Yeah,
Hey
it's
there.
basically just Twitch saying is like, hey, they're large creators. You kind of made it. You don't need the promotion, but the small creators, you've got affiliate. You've made it. Here's a little bone.
A little, a
A little
little.
bone. We're just going to toss it your way. Have fun with it.
Yeah, have fun with your little bone. Wow. No.
Like, well, gee, thank you. I'm still going to
Uh,
do promotion off the site anyway because that works better.
yeah. Yeah, and I remember you talking about they're very against multi-streaming, but unfortunately, that's just how the future is going to work for content creation. Because if you're on one platform still and only streaming to one platform, I have no words for you. This it's just not viable anymore.
Right. It's just not viable to be on one platform alone anymore. Now, the reason why Twitch is against it is because that's how they got in popular. They would tell creators like, "Hey, if you want to make it big on Twitch, you gotta create content elsewhere, like YouTube, like creating videos on YouTube to push people over to your Twitch." And now, because of how Twitch is doing things, people are going, "Hey, I'm not just on Twitch; I'm over here." And Twitch is like, "Oh, wait, you're messing with how our business model was."
Mhm. Yeah, it's just yeah. I have YouTube has taught that you shouldn't be on one platform for all they've done to their creators. Not all, but
Right?
to some creators.
YouTube did do that.
Twitch has done that for how they've treated some of their creators, and and um and while I've not seen too much of Kick or anything like that, I still believe I don't care if a hey Paul, what's going on?
I'd say
Hey,
give Kick a try. If it's not for you, I totally get it. If
yeah,
you have apprehensions about how they get their money, okay, that's fair. I
mhm,
understand.
yeah,
But I
no,
would say at the
definitely,
very least, give it a try. You might find something you like.
yeah. It's always good to you're welcome, Darasan. Well, you don't have to call me Darasan, but I appreciate it anyway. But yeah, it's I just don't think it's viable anymore. And if you only on one platform and that's all you can handle, hey, look, don't listen to me. All right,
Yeah.
that's not content creation is about what you and you can handle. Like for me,
Okay.
I'm only on two platforms because I only have so much time and so much mental uh, bandwidth. And really, at this point, it's really about what you want to do with it, not what I say. I'm just giving my perspective on what I've experienced. But anyway, um, to kind of to quickly go through one whether you're on the Rumble side or whether on the YouTube side, doesn't matter which side you're on. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow, anything that helps with the engagement factor is much appreciated. Now does help in being seen more, like all content creators want to be. I am a content creator at this point. It also helps in having other people on, like Zin, like Paul Hadouken, like B Roll, and like so many other people. At the end of the day, I've had on people whether they're a creator or whether they're not a creator. Over 290 plus people at this point. Who will be number 300? I don't know, but you'll find out when I get there. So that'll most likely be this month, but it'll be a bit. So we'll see. But regardless, any help with the engagement factor on either the Rumble side or YouTube side is always appreciated. So I thank you very much for that. And now I gotta find my link. Oh, there we go. That's my link right there. It has my Twitter X in it, it has my email in it, it has a link to Discord in it. I don't have a server, don't ask. I've heard enough horror stories about doing a Discord server. It's just about being able to have another way of contacting me. Because I know some people do Discord only, some people do email only, and majority not people are on Twitter X, which is where I communicated with Zin and so many other people. Because it's just where the main stage is right now. Um, but yeah, all my links are there, including my Rumble and YouTube one, are in there too. Thank you for that. Of course, I am part of Proton's partner program. With that link right there, you can go and check out all the stuff. But I'm promoting their Proton Unlimited plan, which encompasses all their sweet stuff in it: Proton Drive, Proton Pass, Proton Mail, Proton VPN. Uh, if you want to, that link right there will save you 23 cents, or no, not 23 cents, 23%, 23% on the yearly uh plan, or whatever you want to call it, the yearly plan. But if you just want to take the look, the link is there. There's so much stuff. Again, I use Proton on a daily basis. Zin right here uses Proton Mail for his stuff as well.
Mm.
We both what was that? Sorry.
I don't use mail. I use their VPN.
Oh, VPN. Sorry, I apologize. Yeah, it's still the VPN and mail are free to use if you want to test it out. But regardless, it is there to check out. And if you do decide to take up the Proton Unlimited plan, that link will save you the chunk of change right there. So there you go for that. And of course, I have a little interesting thing with the uh, king and queen of Biltong. Uh, They make it here in the US, in Texas. Um, not I didn't really expect them to get anything from it. I didn't ask, but they did, and I appreciate it ever since. And so just trying to pay it forward back to them, because they are one making it in America. It's in Texas, so those for you don't know, and it's really some good stuff. And again, you can go to the website, check it out for yourself. They sell more than Biltong, UK treats, UK drinks, all sorts of stuff. And if it's your bag of fancy, guess what? You can save 10% off your whole sale. I use it. I did use my code when I went to go make a new order, and I saved 10% off. But beyond that point, it's up to you. Again, window shopping, right? You can look, you can see if you want or not. But if not, that's okay too. It's just promoting what I've used and had, and that's how I'd rather do it. So there you go. And then thank you for that B-roll. And of course, kind of as a special ordeal here, because there's someone who I've had on as a guest, but they have kind of fallen on hard times. So they have Adam Gray, who is also the one half of B-roll, which is commentary on old public domain movies. They've sort of fallen on hard times and trying to keep from having to be kicked from their home. Obviously, I there's a lot of it seems like there's a lot of people out there right now who are needing some help on the GoFundMe stage. And I've seen time and time again, whether it be for personal matters or for building a new PC. At the end of the day, you can go look and see for yourself of what they say. Again, I have had Adam Grant and I've had his wife Barb on as well. And they're some pretty good people, pretty fun people to be with. But again, it is up to you if you want to give anything. I'm not going to demand it. Obviously, your money is your money and you have bills to pay too. Always take care of your stuff first before you try to help others, because it's like the saying, the blind leading the blind. You don't want to, you don't want to, someone going bankrupt with someone trying to help someone who's going bankrupt. And it doesn't really help everyone. So give it a look. Really great people. And again, it's just trying to keep them from losing their home. I think the total amount they're trying to raise is $800. And if I could help to pay all that off, I would. But at the end of the day, I am on that same level, and I try to save every penny I have to just save up for a new car. So, except my current car is still good, so don't worry about that. But it's for future stuff. So, but anyway, that link is there. Go check it out if it's just to retreat or whatever. That's up to you. But I've had these people on, so I know them, and at least I'm not trying to lead you down like a scam or anything, because I don't want to. I don't want to lead you down a scam. So there you go. There is that, and that's the end of it. Of course, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, I will get to have on a gentleman by the name of Joey Cannoli. Every time I say that word, it makes me want to try cannoli, but I have tried cannoli, and whenever I tried cannoli, they weren't that great. So I might need to try the authentic taste instead of store bought, but that's for another time. But anyway, that'll be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. And of course, the last thing I do with my guests in is something I call questions from a hat. So what happened is I did buy a hat from Rumble, obviously. And what happens is I put some questions in there. Now, obviously, there's the questions that anyone can answer. However, I am not monetized on YouTube. So YouTube, until that time comes, you guys are going to be left out in the cold. But if you're on the Rumble side, right? If you're on the Rumble side, and you want to have more questions pulled a hat, all I have to do is give a roll hat. I don't include gifted subs. Maybe one day down the road, I might make a certain color paper for that, but for right now, that is not the case. So what happens is my guest gets 2 freebie questions, but you can pay to have one more pulled out, whether it be $1, a $2 pack. If you did a $500, that'd be swell, but I know it's most likely not going to happen. So whatever you want, as long as it's a Rumble rant, that works out. So, are you ready, good sir?
Yeah.
All right. First question, not even looking in the hat, just feeling my way around like I'm a blind man in the dark. Let's see what we got. Oh, that's a twofer. All right, here we go. Here's question number 1. Let's see what it says. Okay, here you go. Question is, what's a book that changed your perspective on something?
I'm actually not one for reading books. Oddly enough, about the only book I listened to was what was it? Life Without the Opposite Gender, or what? No, what was it? It's called The Menu.
Mhm,
Life Without the Opposite Sex. It was written by Aaron Clary. It's a very interesting book. If you're like the kind of, it's a very interesting book. I would probably suggest it to people that are like, they're wanting to get a romantic partner, but they're not having a great time with it, or for whatever reason,
mhm.
and they're really depressed to the point of where they're, let's just say they want to go into Minecraft and jump off a cliff or something like that, for
They,
simplicity's sake, over on YouTube.
well,
Um,
I'll say it. They wanna end their life. It's basically what they wanna do. They wanna
right.
end their life.
This is a book that I would hand to them. And the
Mhm,
basic statement is, obviously steak isn't on the menu, but there
mhm,
are many, many other things in life that you can go pursue
mhm,
and leave your mark on the world.
mhm,
And that's basically the general gist of the book. And it goes through like all the different ways that you can do that.
mhm. That's not bad. Well, it was called The Menu, right?
Yeah, it's The Menu, Life Without the Opposite Gender, written by Aaron Clary.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that sounds interesting. Yeah, I thought it was like The Menu, like the movie The Menu, because there's a movie out there called The Menu. But it's more on the cooking side, but yeah.
It's about the only book I really sat down and read and actually cared much about. Any other book I was told to read, I just didn't really care about, and it didn't stick to memory.
Yeah. I've mostly just done audiobooks, and even then it's been a rare occasion I've done so. But yeah, that's pretty awesome, man. Thank you for that. Question number 2 right here. Let's see what it says. Uh what oh, this might be a difficult one, so hold on. What is your least favorite word to say?
That's a hard question to answer because I'm very much an open book. I don't really there's like any words that I don't like saying.
All right. Well, let me get another question out so we can get, because that's sometimes you got a question that trips you up and you just gotta pick another one. All right. Let's see if I can.
Right.
What's up? Another one. What's this one? This one. Oh, here we go. Well, this one's gonna be a weird one. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Is a hot dog a sandwich? Technically, if you consider a sub to be a sandwich because it's just two slices of bread against thing, but I'm not sure if it is truly a sandwich because it's not sliced all the way through.
True.
We may have to consult a chef about that one.
It is between two buns, so I mean, some people considered whatever is between the two buns a
Meat and a
sandwich. But
variety of toppings in between two buns. Technically, you could say it is a sandwich, much like how the ocean is a soup.
Yes, all those fish inside. It's like a big. You know what? You're right. It's a big fish soup because all the fish.
Water, salt, meat, varieties of vegetables. Yeah, the ocean is a soup.
You got the hot lava going into it.
Yeah, it's self-heating.
Oh.
Well, too hot, go someplace up north, you get nice and cold.
Yeah, get lobster in there too. It's smorgasbord
Yeah.
of deliciousness. Just don't drink too much of the water and you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's how you end world hunger. Right there. It's right there. Let's go get
Oh,
some.
yeah, go get some. People are like, it's too cold. It's too cold. Well, you gotta cook it first. Goodness.
Meanwhile, there are people out there making a business off of it.
Oh, please. Oh, yeah.
Fishermen.
That. Yeah, I have no doubt about that. And but again, of course, thank you. That well, actually, first, that is the end of the show. Of course, thank you to all my lovely chat people, whether you're on the Rumble side or YouTube side. Doesn't matter which side you're on, because I stream to both. And fa la la la, I enjoy. And also, I'd like to thank my guest, the big Zin Man himself, the robot from another planet, it almost seems like. Thank you for coming on, good sir. And of course, like I always tell my guests, you are always welcome to come back, but just not this month because it's very busy.
I get it. As for me, for people over watching over my end, I'm probably going to go a little bit longer. My streams usually end at 9 o'clock, so I'm probably going to go play some Mega Bonk to fill in the time.
Oh, how is Mega Bonk for you, by the way?
I haven't played it a whole lot, but I usually use it as a stand-in game for whenever I'm like doing something else or waiting for a game to download or anything like that. It's pretty fun, but it's not something I would probably make a regular thing to stream.
Yeah, I've been playing that one a bit, and I've unlocked some things here and there, but it's really it. It really is that game where you start from 0 and work your way up to
Yeah,
get
it's a
better.
roguelike.
Yeah, roguelike, but it's an alright it's a very
It's an
don't think
interesting game.
y yeah, it's a very don't think about it game at a certain point, you can just
Right.
pick whatever, but yeah, it's been alright. I'm not gonna give it I'd probably give it like a, 7 out of 10, really. Uh,
Yeah, that sounds more appropriate. I think it's more like a 7 out of 10 too.
yeah. That is your that is your game review for the week.
Yeah.
And forget what IGN says. Just listen to what I say. It's 7 out of 10. There you go. Done.
Forget an IGN. Go independent.
Eh, IGN dependent. No,
Yeah.
that was a stretch. But anyway, guys, again tomorrow 7 p.m. Eastern with Joey Canoli. Hope to see you all there. And of course, like always. Oh, and of course, before we go, don't forget links down below on both the Rumble side and YouTube. YouTube side again, I stream to both ends. Check out the stuff. If it's worth it to you, great. If not, that's okay too. Again, I promote the people to sell themselves rather than me try to like, no, you should go over there and all this stuff. No, no. The person's work should sell themselves, not the individual having the mod. Not to say that I wouldn't want to help, but it works better when your stuff uh your stuff is the reason people come to find you. Really. Yeah, there we go. Well, look at that. Adam Gray 716. I hope it gets there, man. 40 in 24 hours, that's great. Hope it gets to
That's
to
awesome.
800. Yeah. That's so it's like 8 yeah, that's $84 left. You just need $84 and you'll be finished. Wow. I hope it gets over tonight. But anyway, guys, that is the end. Of course, I end the show with One Day with You by Pogo, who's the artist, who's done some of the other videos too. There's some other done by another one. But again, I end with this one because it's just a nice, gentle one to go out with. And remember, don't forget to mute your mic as well. And with that, everyone, have a great rest of your night. Bye.